What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing to cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do here on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Money making Friday, ladies and gentlemen. One of my absolute favorite days of the week. Man, we got two NBA playoff games. I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts, my opinions, to get you guys the information you need to know. Get you, ladies and gentlemen, in and out of here. Of course, y'all know me. I always call a spade here on this show. I have done that for the last 3 years. When I'm hot, I tell you I'm hot. When I'm cold, I tell you I'm cold. It's been a tough run for me. You know, playoffs has just not been my best work. We lost again last night. I took a shot on the Warriors plus 10 points. They were in the game at certain points, and then most of it, they were out of it. They would cut it down to like 12, and then Minnesota would extend it back out. Minnesota ultimately ended up taking them boys behind the woodshed, tying up the series 1-1. So that was last night, ladies and gentlemen. We move on to today. Today, again, we got two games today. We got the Indiana Pacers at home at the crib looking to take a commanding 3-0 series lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we got the Denver Chicken Nuggets at home at the crib. That series tied up 1-1 with the Oklahoma City Thunder buddies rolling in, man. I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site, man. Money Making Friday, one of my favorite betting days of the week. Man, let's kick the crap out of the books today. Let's do the damn thing. First game on the board. We got the Indiana Pacers at home at the crib with Cleveland rolling in. Cleveland down 0-2. They're favored in this game. Favored by 4.5 points. Just came across my phone right before I started recording this. Looks like Mobley, Garland, and Hunter will be back in the lineup for Cleveland tonight. That's a really good sign for Cleveland. This team was banged up in game 2. But getting those guys back will be a huge addition for this team. Of course, Garland has missed both games of the series. The problem I run into in this game is Indiana's had the number of Cleveland all season long. Remember, Indiana won the regular season series 3-1. And as we've discussed, over the past couple seasons, Indiana's just a different team, monster, and animal at home at the crib, especially in the playoffs. We go back to last season in the playoffs. The Pacers didn't lose a home playoff game until the conference finals, where they got swept by Boston. Boston won the first two in Boston, and then they won the next two in Indiana to close out Indiana. But Indiana did fight really hard in those last two against the Celtics. But first round, they won both against Milwaukee. Second round, they beat New York and Indiana in all three. Indiana's just a different team, monster, and animal at home at the crib. I've told you guys for majority of the season, I just don't know what I'm expecting from this Cleveland team come playoff time. Cleveland feels like an inexperienced playoff team, A. B, I don't necessarily trust their star to take over games late in these playoff games in Donovan Mitchell. He didn't really do it at home when his team needed him most. Now, do we really expect him to do it on the road? I don't know. And that's been something key to look at for Donovan Mitchell, not only this season, but in his career. Remember, this is not the first time we've seen Donovan Mitchell on a really good team that was good in the regular season that flamed out in the playoffs. That's who the Utah Jazz were. And that's why ultimately the Utah Jazz and him part ways. The Cleveland Cavs are just the old Utah Jazz disguised in different clothing in a different city. I don't trust these boys, especially not as favorites on the road. This line now starting to grow now that Mobley and Garland news has come across. Indiana's had the number of Cleveland all season long, so why does that stop now? At home, at the crib, where Indiana plays its best basketball, where they're a different team, monster and animal, sign me up here with the Pacers. Plus the points in my back pocket, and I'm also taking an outright shot on the money line. Here in the second round, dogs have been barking mightily. So why not stick with them? That's where I want to be. Hey, I told you guys at the beginning of the series, I had Indiana winning this series. I told you guys it might be uglier than many of you think. We might got to bring them brooms out, man. And just sticking to my word. I like Indiana plus the points, and I will be betting them outright on the money line here in our first game of the day. We keep it rolling, man. Next game up, we head over to Denver, where the Nuggets are 5.5-point home dogs with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Buddies rolling in, total 232.5. Look, Thunder Buddies completely obliterated the Denver Nuggets in game 2. Smacked them boys up by damn near 50. Thunder had to respond in that game, though. They could not afford to do anything other than that. Nuggets stole game 1. They had already stolen home court advantage. Denver did what they needed to do. Thunder came in with a different game plan, it looked like, in game 2. We saw Jokic struggle mightily, fouled out early in that game, fouled out in the third. And the Thunder coasted to a nice win in that one. Tonight, on the road, Thunder double possession favorites. Y'all know me, man. It's usually Thunder Buddies for life. This is my favorite money-making team. I don't trust them tonight, though. I don't. I think a lot of people have just completely written off the Denver Nuggets. A lot of people think that the Thunder are just going to outright run away with this series. I don't think that. I didn't even think that from the start. I think this game is going to be more closely related to what game 1 looked like than what game 2 looked like. Game 1, what did we see? We saw Jokic go absolutely insane, and the Thunder had no answer for him. He had, 40, 20, and 10 in game 1. At home, at the crib, in Ball Arena, coming off of one of his worst playoff performances of all time, coming off a 40-plus point blowout at the crib, in Ball Arena, where we love the Nuggets, where they go stupid, dummy, crazy. Sign me up. I'm on Denver, plus the points in this one. And honestly, I believe they have a very legitimate chance to win this game outright. Thunder had to respond in game 2 at home at the crib, and they did, and we'll take our hats off to them. But this Thunder team is still an inexperienced team. This is still a team that I have question marks about. Remember, this is one of the youngest teams in all of the NBA. This is still a team that is trying to get to where Denver has already accomplished and winning an NBA championship. I think a lot of people are getting a little ahead of themselves here on the Thunder. I like them. They're a really good team. They're one of the best ATS teams in NBA history. But regular season basketball and postseason basketball are two totally different things. The Denver Chicken Nuggets are a completely different team, monster, and animal at home, at the crib. Man, I'm on the Nuggets, plus the points in this one. And honestly, I think they have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. I will be sprinkling on the money line. I'm expecting Jokic to have a monster game tonight at home. I think it's going to be more reminiscent of game 1, where Hardenstein, Chet, they just couldn't do nothing with him. And coming off one of his worst playoff performances of his career, monster game tonight from Jokic, and I think it helps aid the Denver Nuggets to a win tonight. Give me Denver plus the points and outright money line here in our last and final game of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site, man. Money making Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It's been dog heavy here in the second round. I think it stays dog heavy tonight. See if I'm right or if we'll see if I'm wrong, man. But regardless, I have premium plays over at the site. You guys can hop on something long term. Basketball here in the postseason has been choppy. I always call it spade a spade. I've been seeing the board over the last week or so, 2 weeks or so in baseball fairly well. I do bet baseball. We will be betting baseball through the summer. WNBA will be here soon. We do bet WNBA. We will have a show for the WNBA, so be locked in for that, ladies and gentlemen. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Heading into a money-making weekend. Hop on a 3-day pass if you believe I'm finna have a monster weekend. Yeah, appreciate y'all more than y'all know. See y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.